Good morning, fellas. Welcome to the early morning edition of MC's Finest Weekly Update video. Wanted to get one up real quick and get things rolling for Tuesday, bright and early. So got the day off, so I figured it's a good time to do it. Let's just jump right in. Week 3. I can't believe it's already week 4 we're looking at, which is nuts. Week 3 matchups, guys. A lot of blowouts, a lot of games that got actually really close. I think there's about 2 close games. But then from there, kind of really blowout city. We'll start with Joe against Mike. Joe doubled them up, 136 to 63. Mike was led by Antonio Brown with 14. Got a fat goose egg from Kelvin Benjamin, so that really killed him. But nobody was really stopping Joe. I mean, you look at even going into that Monday night game, Tevin Coleman putting up 26 points from his flex spot. Another 23 from Kristen Michael. So Joe's team really gaining some momentum. I mean, he's got some high octane offensive players. Mike Evans went off. Drew Brees with 25. So Joe's team's kind of right where it needs to be, 2-1, tied for first in the NFC. Which I think is going to be kind of like a clog at some point in the season when wins start accumulating. I think there's going to be 2-3 way tie at the top of that division because it's going to be pretty tight. I think it's a good division. Mike 1-2, not where you need to be, brother. Getting smoked last week, so we'll see if Mike rebounds. Other matchup we had Nico and Jeff. Nico pulling out the 112 to 102 victory. Jeff, the devastating pick of starting Tammy over Fleener, cost him the week. Earlier in the day when Jeff had like Darkwa scoring, Jordy got his 2 touchdowns. Both Nico and Jeff were texting me, and Jeff's like, "Oh, I got this." Oh yeah, it didn't start Sproles, but oh well, I'm still going to win. And then the Chiefs defense picked off Ryan Fitzpatrick 6 times, scored twice, scored 32 points for Nico, which is maybe the highest I've ever seen for a defense. He was actually they were the leading scorer for Nico, with Jeff being led by LeGarrette Blount with 22 and a half. So Jeff's 0-3, not where you need to be, especially with AP going down. He does have Bell back this week finally, so we're going to see if Jeff can retool a little bit. He's going to have that number 1 running back now, and I think once bye weeks start, we'll see if Jeff can rebound. I mean, I know he's been kind of feeling some keepers out, guys, so Jeff's still in it to win it, and he's in the division to do it. So, don't count the guy out, especially if he makes a big move, gets some depth, he'll be all right. But Nico, 2-1, so right there tied for first in that division. Had a big week, had a good week out of 112, so one of the higher scoring teams. Next matchup was me against Javi. This one looked like it was in the bag for me early. I mean, I had a lot of early games, and he still had his later games. But Luck and Ty got real close after that big hookup in the fourth quarter against San Diego. I only pulled out a 102 to 94 victory. At one point, I think I was up 76 to 18 on him, so it was a hell of an effort. I'll tell you what, he was one short touchdown away from Devontae Freeman. Had Coleman not got 3, Freeman would have got one of those. We would be looking at possibly an upset from Javi. So Javi's sitting at 1-2 in our division now. I'm at 2-1. I'm pretty happy with my team, but now I'm starting to get the effects of the bye weeks with Aaron Rodgers going to be on the bye this week. Going to be looking to make some moves, guys, especially because I have 2 running backs and 2 receivers starters on the same bye week, 9 and 11, so hit me up. And I was led by Aaron Rodgers. He had 4 TDs that game, 26.4. Obviously, Javi led by Devontae Freeman, 26.7. He is not as bad as we are projecting, folks. So Javi got a nice little gem there in Freeman. Starting to really turn it around, especially catching the football. Tevin Coleman is going to be the thorn in the side of Freeman, and that's like, it's one of those things. Who do you start? Who do you sit? I feel like you have to start both if you have them. Obviously, Joe started him, got 20-something. And Javi started and got 20-something as well. Now, that's not going to happen every week, but you never know. The other blowout was Aaron over Brock and Dalton, 131 to 92. Brock's team didn't play particularly bad. I mean, 92 is a damn good score, but when you run into 131, obviously going to be tough to rebound. Aaron got scoring all over the place. Vikings D continues to impress. He got 25 from them. Stafford looking real sexy at 26.5. Stafford is the number 3 quarterback in fantasy right now. So something to look at. That team's going to be down a lot. Their defense is horrible. They're going to be passing a ton. That's a nice pick by Aaron there. And obviously, Allen Robinson finally had that big game. Aaron's running backs combined for like 34 points, so tough week to win against Aaron here. Brock and Dalton were led by LaShawn McCoy, had 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards, had 23, almost 24 points. But outside of that, Odell, had 121 yards, no TDs again. C.J. Anderson had that dud game of 4.1. And then Brandon Marshall, Jason Witten combined for just about 5 points. So that's tough when, you scored 92, but not quite enough. Last matchup of the week, Jared, everybody. Jared is 3-0. Say it with me. He is 3-0. This guy knows what he's doing, unfortunately, because he's in my division. People dog this guy all the time. Jared, I'll give you some respect here, man. You're 3-0. Like, I don't care. You're lucky in some instances, but hey, you're 3-0. I have no room to talk. He beat down Eric and Nick here, 91-79. Eric just a paltry effort here. I mean, he had 20 from Todd Gurley and 21 from Murray. So his running backs put up 41 points. But from there on, it was Gronk, goose egg. Fitz had 6. Travis Benjamin had 6. DeAndre Hopkins had 5. Derek Carr 11. So just not very good team effort from Eric's squad there. But his team will rebound. He's got some studs there. Jared pulled out the victory. He got 3.5 from Carson Palmer. But it was Marvin Jones who had over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's taken the cake there. I think highest scoring player of the week all around. And then he got some double digits from Dez, Travis Kelce looking good. But outside of that, his running backs went for 15 points. Like, without Marvin Jones, if he'd have started some other bum, who knows? I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, Jared's not going to keep this up because he's proved us wrong in the past, guys. The hate is real. Embrace the hate. Hashtag embrace the hate. Whatever Jared says, guys, hey, I can't hate on that. Good for him. I just hope I beat his ass next time when I play in week 9. So we will see. Looking on the second week, guys, or week 4 here. Where am I at on time? I got to get moving. Week 4. Got a big matchup division-wise. Me against Brock. I'll be projected probably like 105 to his 99.2. So it's going to be a close matchup, especially with me facing Rodgers on the bye. I'm going to have to find a replacement quarterback to stream this week. So I'll see if anybody's willing to trade a backup or just pick somebody up. My matchups, I looked at them, are really rough. I got a couple receivers facing Seattle. I think running back facing Tennessee. So not looking good for me, guys. I mean, I really want to go 3-1, kind of keep pace with Jared here. I am the highest scoring team in the league right now, just by like a handful of points. And I know Brock is the least. Brock and Dalton are the number 10 in scoring right now. So I'm sure they'll rebound. I mean, they got a couple good players there, especially at running back. If they can both have a big week, I think it's going to lock it up for him. So we'll see. I mean, he's got some tough matchups as well. So it'll be a good one to shake out, possibly matchup of the week. Another one, we got Jeff going up against Eric and Nick. Jeff currently projected at 86.8, but I believe that's without Bell in there, against Eric's 96.1, Eric and Nick. That'll be another decent matchup. I'm really excited to see Bell actually in that offense. They look terrible against the Eagles, but you add in Bell, D'Angelo Williams' value now plummets. I think he's still going to get touches. He was very efficient, scoring touchdowns and catching the ball in weeks 1, 2. So we'll see if they continue to feed him and at least get him some looks maybe on third down. But Bell's the workhorse in that offense, and I think he's gotten, I bet Jeff's probably gotten 6 or 7 offers just about from everybody looking for Bell. So we'll see if he actually moves him or if he hangs on to him. I mean, he's a first round, so the keeper value not very good, but he's a workhorse back that is kind of a rarity in this league. And next matchup, you got 2. It's a big matchup. This is probably matchup of the week. You got Joe and Nico scoring off 2-1, both tops in the NFC right now. Projected very low at 82 for Nico and 76 for Joe. Now I'm going to guess both teams got some guys on the bye. Let's just take a quick peek here. Yeah, not bad though. Eddie Lacy's on the bye and Nico's team is set. So that's a pretty low scoring affair, guys, but we know projections are shit. So look for that matchup to actually be pretty close. I'll obviously get on and put my comments on there once things get updated and rosters get set. Another good matchup we have is Aaron up against Mike. Aaron projected at 96, Mike projected at 86, so we'll see how that one shakes out. Obviously, another big division game for Aaron. I think Aaron's team is nasty. It's right where it needs to be. Ballsy moves sat in A.J. Green last week, but it actually paid off. He got more out of Crowell than he did AJ Green. He's been seeing some double teams, and by the way, that I think that was a great trade for both parties. Aaron was super deep, needed to move some depth for a star, which he did, and Nico, obviously killed by injuries, got a great trade. Got Doug Baldwin, who snapped off on Sunday. Got Jordan Matthews as well. I think just a really good trade for both parties there, and it really helped out. So that's one of those trades that I admire from an outsider standpoint. And then the last but not least, we have a big division matchup in my division. We have Mr. Two-time Jared himself at 3-0 up against Javi at 1-2. Jared projected at 90.8 to Javi's 93.7. So that could be really close. I'm really hoping Javi gets a win just to help, me get up there. Hopefully, if I can win, tie up with Jared. But that's going to be big. I mean, watching Jared's team, it's funny just with, I'm sure his points against are maybe the lowest. I don't know. I know I scored a bunch in week 1 and still lost. So it's been fun, guys, so far. Everything's going really smooth. I think activity's been really good with getting on the matchups and everything on the scoreboard page. Outside of that, we haven't had any problems with scoring. Obviously, the block punt and stuff, but that was a crazy rule that I was unaware of. I thought a block kick, anytime the defender tipped it, was blocked, but it is not. So, I mean, there it shook out a matchup. And outside of that, the trade's been great, guys. Activity, like I said, has been good. Any questions or comments, we'll do on the right-hand side like always. But it's been, pretty kosher so far. Everything's ebb and flow is really good. So outside of that, I really have not a whole lot else. Where we at? About 12-minute mark. So from there, guys, have a great week. I know trades are going to start coming as the bye weeks get there. Teams are going to be devastated by buys. Like I said, I'm one of them. But outside of that, I mean, playoffs, it's still so early. Don't sell yourself out. I mean, I'd say week 7 is about the time where you abandon ship. Week 7, I'll be doing a halfway video, like midseason MVPs, your booms, your busts, stuff like that. So I'll do a special video then. But outside of that, guys, have a great week, and I will see you guys next week. Hopefully Tuesday I can get another video up quickly. But outside of that, good luck. Any questions, hit me up. But we are rolling right along on to week 4.